So the first performance of the band was 2010, and we had about 6 people, I think, in the group. We started out marching around Market Square, and then Greg, who was Santa Claus, led us across the street. We marched through this place, which was then a Mexican restaurant. We went over to Momo's. We marched through there.
Oh, I was having a great time. I was supposed to lead the parade dressed as Santa. And I would just throw open a door and yell, "Who's been a good little boy and girl?" And then drop my arms and the marching band would start and we'd just go through a store that had no idea we were coming. And that's a lesson I learned. Marching bands sometimes have less to do with the music. I mean, the music's important, but they're a force of nature.
Yes.
Let's go in order of involvement.
Then it would be me. Sarah and I decided we're going to make a community marching band. And I said, well, how are we going to do that? And she goes, well, Tucker, you know so many former chiefs that live in town. Why don't we all get together and try to make a band?
People really enjoy and recognize the fact that we are having fun to the point where now people are clamoring to play tambourine and cowbell with us just because they want to be part of the band. Because you guys have a blast. Every time we see you, you guys are having a great time.
Yes, I mean, like, the Lofted Pursuits band is, hey, you gotta check these guys out. People are talking about our fun, we say our fun little group. I was the only clarinet when I started, and now we have a clarinet section.
As of Saturday, we'll have a tambourine section.
We have a tambourine, we have a percussion section.
Those first, it might have been the first like 3 or 4 parades, or maybe 2 parades, I borrowed Donnie's trumpet.
Yeah, because you didn't have a
So I
trumpet.
didn't have my trumpet. And my brother, who's 10 years younger than me, he went to college, and about that time I had graduated, I really wasn't playing much, so he took the trumpet with him. And he always told me, I guess, that he lost the trumpet because I wanted it back, you know. And then once I started playing with Lofty, I sent him some pictures. Maybe he saw a video, and then all of a sudden I get this package at the house with my trumpet. And so the trumpet I play today is the trumpet that I had since elementary school.
Whoa! Wow!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We have to learn the Star Spangled Banner something.
Because you're supposed to not travel on Everybody stop. You're on the wrong side, Sarah. Conehead. Bonehead. All of us, line up, push in, stay still. I'm coming next to you. Okay, all right, horns out, and horns over to the right. And a nice big cheesy grin. Cheesy grin.
We are truly the complete demographic of Tallahassee. I mean, you have so many different walks of life in our organization. I mean, look at all of us. I mean, we are Tallahassee. We're guys that came to school here and we never left. Or somebody that came to Tallahassee and hasn't left because he got married. So we truly are Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I am outstanding. Today is a great day. Oh, new person. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Doing fine. Listen to that.
We're taking it down. We're taking it down. We're taking it down. We're taking it down. We're bringing it back. Yeah. We're bringing it back.
I found out about the band through Facebook. One of my friends had posted a picture in the marching band, and I was like, there's a marching band? I was like, oh my God, I have to join. So I told my husband, and he's like, well, just buy a cheap saxophone. So I thought, well, there really aren't any cheap saxophones. But I looked on Amazon and I found one for $163. So I got it and then started marching again, and I haven't stopped since, and that was 2 years ago.
You have students, you have young professionals, you have not so young professionals, people who are middle-aged. We have some people who are getting up there a little bit more. You have very, very liberal members all the way up to very, very conservative members. You have people who are religious versus people who are not. So we're really just a kind of a microcosm of any kind of culture you could possibly have in Tallahassee, which I think makes it welcoming and accessible to anybody who's potentially interested in joining the group, because there's somebody that you can identify with no matter who you are or, you know, what you identify, what you represent.
I was at a Final Friday event last June, I think it was. I was like, oh my gosh, a little marching band, I want to play with them. And I just went right up to them and was like, you guys are awesome, can I play with you? And Tiffany was like, what instrument do you play? And I said piccolo, and she was like, can I get your phone number? And so that's how I joined Lofty Pursuits Marching Band. And so really it's meeting and getting to know new people. Everybody has been just lovely. Like, I've been able to find common ground with every single person I've met in Lofty. I mean, really, like, it just, everybody has just been wonderful. I feel like I've made 35 new friends in Lofty Band. That's really my favorite part about it.
Can we line up? Yeah, we're gonna line up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. You got the B man in the background.
Okay. She let me put him on. I guess I should be trying to play that.
Well, you can if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want to.
My best. There's, when I started, I got the book that says I used to play the clarinet to teach me how to play clarinet again. And it sits there forever. And, you know, there's memories everywhere. There's Valerie and Patty and I at Alumni Band. This is Keith and Leslie and Tucker and I. And this game, actually, we had an extra ticket, and so the four of us actually got to sit together. And so this was this past year. Football season. Again, alumni band. There's Leslie and I and Patty. She would be in Lofty. Outside of Lofty, Valerie and I.
When I finished music school, I didn't pick up my flute for like 17 years. Was not involved in music at all. It was almost like a traumatic experience going through music school, studying music. It was a hard time, and it's very competitive. And so to be able now to come back and connect with people through music in a non-competitive environment, and also like bring joy to other people, is just really fulfilling to me.
We're not perfect. We're all far from perfect, but we have fun.
Yeah.
And that, it goes back to that person who maybe they stopped playing their instrument in 10th grade. It might take you a week or two or a month to learn the fingering chart, etc., etc., etc. It was 20 years. There was 15 years from the time I stopped playing to the time that I picked up my instrument again. When you pick it back up again after so many years, there is a symbolic reason beyond just the fireballs and the saint's music. There's a symbolic behind it that only a person who plays an instrument, which you get when you start playing your instrument again. You find a peace, and that's the only balance I can throw at it. Tech doesn't play an instrument.
Music's just always brought me joy. There's a song by 311 called Hey You, and the whole song is about what music means to this person who's singing it. And the very last line is, music, you're my constant companion. And so, like, that's kind of how I feel. I've always got a song in my head or music on in the background, or I get to play. So having that on a consistent basis back in my life has been just a real joy for me.
I was in marching band 8 years of my life, and it's a part of me. And whenever I see a marching band or even hear a marching band, I would start to cry. So there's a lot of happy emotion behind marching band. Whenever we have performances, people will come up to us and say how much they enjoyed it, and a lot of times we recruit people because we'd love for the band to be as big as it needs to be. And it's exciting. And I remember when I was little, just very little, going to Annapolis with my parents and seeing the marching bands in a parade and just thinking, when I grow up, I'm going to do that. So I think it inspires children to play.
Reconnecting with our younger days when we did play regularly, getting that trumpet back from my brother that I thought was lost, and then I got some more silver polish, and I polished it up, because it was kind of getting tarnished,
I remember that right before you did it.
Took it over to Music Masters. They had to replace all of the cork and everything. The slide was stuck, so they had to use their special equipment to get that pulled apart. But it's amazing how these instruments, as old as they are, you clean them up again, and it's like new again. So it was.
My newest saxophone is blue, with silver keys. And I also, it goes with my hair. I also have a pure silver saxophone. And now I'm selling my good saxophone because I don't need it.
Is there anything in particular you really want to talk about?
I guess just how great life is. Like, I was thinking before I came here today that the 50s has been my favorite. I'm 56, and my 40s was the hardest. So it's like whatever you're going through, everything's going to change. That's the one thing we can always count on, is that things are going to change. So never lose hope.